All right, y'all. I hope you're having, as good of a day as you can have. And hopefully you are, as I always say, taking care of yourselves and each other. We got a big, huge Dragon Ball Daima update. As I said back on Saturday, I fully expected Dragon Ball Daima and Super to continue on, but there have been some changes made, and I'm going to go through those changes here today on this video. So there have been some big changes to Dragon Ball Daima and an update about what the future is going to be for this upcoming anime series coming later this year. This is directly from the official Dragon Ball website discussing Daima premiering on television. Dragon Ball Daima was originally supposed to be a web series, like a streaming service anime. And it may still be that around the world on like Crunchyroll or places like that. They haven't announced that yet, but I'm assuming it'll be that. However, in Japan, it's been changed. I'm not sure if this is because of the passing of Akira Toriyama or if it's because of something that was changed prior to his passing. We don't have answers to that. At least I don't yet, but Daima will now be on television. And I'm actually okay with that because it means more eyeballs in Japan from older fans who don't really stream as much. You know, the older people that just watch TV, who grew up with the original run of Dragon Ball, people older than us even, they'll get a chance to watch it on TV, on Fuji TV. Now, let's go ahead and get to the information in the article and the translation from Herms. So, Herms says the following: Dragon Ball Daima is scheduled to air on Fuji TV this fall, which we knew already. We just didn't know it was going to be on Fuji TV. Probably around October. It says this was announced at the very aptly named Fuji TV Anime Lineup Announcement Conference 2024. Nozawa was there and performed a Kamehameha pose in the honor of Toriyama together with the audience. So this just happened. Nozawa was there live and in honor of Toriyama did the Kamehameha. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, and I'm happy about that. Nozawa said she's happy to play Goku again and that Dragon Ball is appealing because you're always excited to see what will happen next. I'm so happy. I'm afraid I might accidentally spoil something, so I'll say as little as possible. That's also, I love that she says that because that makes me wonder what they got cooking. You know what I mean? Akio Ioku, now of Capsule Corporation Tokyo and executive producer of Daima. Remember, guys, Capsule Corporation Tokyo is now the company in charge of Dragon Ball anime, video games, and movies. The manga will still be produced by Shueisha. Toyotaro is still going to be doing it as far as we know. They haven't announced any changes on that yet. The only difference is that it seems like Toriyama will not be supervising. Obviously, he's not going to be able to supervise Toyotaro and make corrections. However, I do believe that Victory Uchida and maybe even Ioku himself. This is just me guessing. This is not information. This is not a scoop. But Victory Uchida will probably be helping. Ioku may. Ioku may help just to give him information on like what's going on with Daima. So both will probably be running at the same time. And I say probably because at this point, y'all, anything can happen with Super. Like, I think it's going to continue. I'm sure it is. But for how long? You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of you have said that Toyotaro is the heir apparent as far as continuing the story goes. He was Toriyama's protege for Super. So that's probably what's happening here. Moving on. Akio Ioku said, for Daima, Toriyama made the whole story and was involved with character design like never before. He also has a hand in designing, I got a pop up there. He also has a hand in designing the machinery. Well, he's always had a hand in doing stuff like that because Toriyama loves to design vehicles. That's something he's always done for everything. Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest. He's even drawn little cars like, for fun. There's actually a car that he designed in Japan that was made into a real car. I don't have the information ready in this video, but I think I've talked about it before. Maybe, I'm planning on doing at some point a Toriyama stream dedicated to him. But I feel like, that's a fun little tidbit there. Maybe I'll talk about it then, So basically, yes, Toriyama wrote the whole story, which means that tells me that Daima is probably going to be one big story now. Whether or not they were going to continue on with like a different, different arcs and things like that, that remains to be seen. But it feels like the Toriyama story of Daima is going to be one thing. It kind of feels like maybe they're not going to continue on now. Like they'll have one big arc and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, to me, it's not going to be like, I don't know if it'll be like Super, where they just at some point just keep going without Toriyama, or like what GT kind of did. We don't know that yet, but it seems like so far the whole thing was written by Toriyama, or at least he was involved. He made the story, and then the writers took over and kind of added the details. Ioku says Toriyama took time to produce a story with plenty of both action and adventure. Well, yeah, this is the 40th anniversary series, and and so it's gonna have more of a Dragon Ball flavor to it, like less of more of the edgy kind of like DBZ. It'll have blood, so it'll be a celebration of the entire story, Dragon Ball and Z, and maybe even some Super. But it's really gonna be going back to back to basics. You understand what I'm saying? Back to what brought Toriyama to the dance, and which in Dragon Ball, which would be Kid Goku's adventures. And I'm excited for it. I remember. Look, I saw some people on social media yesterday beating up on the fans who were like trashing Daima. I don't, the fans who were like, oh, we don't want this. Look, I understand. I get it. It doesn't look very good now. I still don't think that we should be attacking other fans. I don't think we should be fighting with other fans right now. That's clearly not what Toriyama would have wanted, as he was a peaceful private man. We know this. And we clearly should not be having these civil wars with each other over stuff like that, man. Like, it's not worth it, Yeah, people, it doesn't look good because Toriyama wanted to do Daima. He wanted to get involved in it. He didn't do it originally. He said that himself. But he did want to get involved, and they brought him in to get involved. But it doesn't matter. Yes, it was his choice. And yes, it doesn't look good that the fans were so against Daima. And I think now watching Daima will be a whole new experience because it'll be a celebration of Toriyama's life and his last work. And that's powerful. That is powerful to me, man. Ioku says he sees it as their mission to properly create Toriyama's world, and they took a lot of time getting Daima ready to make it as good as possible. Nozawa heartily agreed. Of course, it took years because they started working on this in the latter part of the pandemic. That's when things began. And they even produced a pilot for Toriyama, which has never been done before. Like Dr. Slump, Dragon Ball, Z, GT, Super did not have a quote-unquote pilot episode. An episode that's like a test run. They made that for Toriyama. We're not sure if that's going to be episode 1 or if it's just an episode that just shows some of the animation and what they can do. But that to me was exciting. And so here we go, off to the races this fall. Dragon Ball Daima on Fuji TV. We do not know the time slot yet. It may end up being at the same time slot that Super was on, which was Sunday mornings in Japan, Saturday evening for us here. That may be the case. However, once again, that is undetermined. We don't know yet. With that being said, once again, y'all, take care of yourself and each other. You have my love to you. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.